A word of advice, kids. 3 degrees is definitely not as warm as it may seem. If you're anything like me, you like to browse Discover page on Spotify and find new bands, find new songs for your playlist, to just, expand your musical taste or something like that. Well, you might have also accidentally stumbled upon one very interesting band that has recently been popping in a lot of playlists, and this band is called Sleep Token. A seemingly unknown band has built a lot of hype, a lot of popularity around their upcoming record called Sundowning. So who the hell are they? And most importantly, how the hell did they do that? So this is not going to be a usual album review. I'm not going to focus that much on music itself. I'm going to focus on marketing side of things because that's sort of the most interesting part about all of this, and so let's dive into it. So it's the year of 2019, about to be 2020. It's the year of streaming music. I doubt that a lot of you still buy vinyls or CDs for music listening, and I'm pretty sure that majority of us, including myself, just streaming music on Spotify or Apple Music, and there's a perk to it. It's very easy because you get a huge storage, a huge library of whatever music you like for pretty cheap. It's not very beneficial for smaller bands because streaming doesn't really make a whole lot of profit for those bands. Majority of profit for smaller bands is coming from merchandise, and not really streaming or CD sales. And it's interesting because merch is awesome. If it's good, then people would want to just wear it, if it's actually good merch, speaking of while she sleeps. But it's also a tool of marketing because, well, you get people to basically promote you as a band by just wearing a piece of clothing. So where the hell am I going with this? There are 2 things. First one, why the hell does this band Sleep Token has released 11 singles for a 12-track album? 12 songs in total, 11 of which are already released singles. There's actually a really smart reason for it. It's an interesting tactic that has been around for quite a while, but it's becoming more and more popular now with the age of streaming. It's important to have singles because they have a much higher chance to get buzz, to get hype, and to basically end up on playlists where majority of us discover new bands. Ryan Kirby, the vocalist of Fit for a King, has explained this in his YouTube video talking about Dark Skies, the latest Fit for a King album, and why they released 5 singles for the 11-track, or how many, something like that, 11-track or 10-track album. I don't really remember how many tracks were on Dark Skies. He said that this is a better chance to end up on playlists and thus get more random listeners to discover your band, which Sleep Token has took to a whole new level, basically just releasing all of the album within some time interval. It's just really bizarre and, well, quite genius. So to better explain this, imagine you're a YouTuber and you have 12 topics to talk about. What would you rather do? You can do A, just merge every single topic in one video, make a huge 40 to 50 minute video and upload it to YouTube, or B, split every single topic into separate YouTube video and just upload it to YouTube every other week. Obviously, with 12 videos, your audience has a bigger chance to just equally spread their attention among all of the videos, all of the topics, and therefore all of those videos will get more or less equal amount of views, equal amount of attention, and equal amount of feedback, as opposed to a 40 or to 50 minute video where a lot of people would skip somewhere around topic 6 or 7. They get bored closer to the end. That's sort of the same thing with the albums. When an album gets dropped, the most streamed songs on the album are usually singles, which is obvious because they're singles. They are streamed the most because they are on playlists, they are streamed the most because they're on YouTube, they have music videos, etc. And thus, it's very easy to overlook some other songs on the album that are not singles, and they just get much less streams, even though they might be actually better songs. When you have 12 singles, this problem sort of eliminates itself because, like Sleep Token did, they've released a song every other Thursday, I think, throughout 22 weeks, roughly. So they've stayed relevant for pretty much half a year up to the release of their album by releasing a new song every now and then, which makes all those tracks more or less equal amount of attention, more or less equal amount of streams and feedback. This works great with streaming services because with 12 singles, a lot of those singles are bound to end up on some sort of playlist. And that's how you get attention, that's how you get listeners. Another thing to this is merch. I mentioned before that merch makes up pretty much majority of your profit at this point. So if you have 12 singles coming out, it's very easy to monetize it. Just release some piece of merchandise for every single single. Instead of having like 5 or 6 shirts for the whole album, you get a shirt for every single single. So you have 12 shirts on your website. And that's exactly what Sleep Token did. If you go on their website right now, you could see for every single single, there is a shirt, there is some kind of guitar picks, a print. The point is, when you have more singles, you can just monetize it by making merchandise for those singles. That's what Sleep Token did, and I'm pretty sure that made them a decent amount of money. And I miss the night I walked. A quick word on the actual music of Sleep Token and Sundowning. Very weird sound. Very weird band. They obviously have this mysterious aesthetic. They don't show their faces. They perform in masks and costumes. But they have a really interesting sound with very expressive, sort of like pop vocals with insane range of emotions and intonation and timbre. You know, the vocalist is great. He's incredible. He's very expressive. Mix that with a lot of pop and trap tools like fat 808 bass, and also out of nowhere, completely fucking out of nowhere, really low guitars, genty riffs, and just mind-blowing drums. That's what you get on this album. It sort of sounds like Deftones, but pushed to extreme, if that makes any sense. My favorite tracks are The Offering, Higher, Dark Signs, Levitate, and Sugar. But honestly, any song on this album is worth listening because of how different of a sound every single song brings to the album. And that, I think, is another great thing about Sundowning. Actually, Higher takes an award for the filthiest breakdown I've heard the whole year. It's just... But I think what really works for this band is the fact that their music is actually also interesting to listen to. So, as a result, more singles equals more chance to get discovered, more chance the songs get equal amount of attention, equal amount of streams and listens on the streaming services. More singles also equals more merch equals more money equals better studios, better gear, more tours equal more discovery. And I think we're gonna see this trend with a lot of singles released prior to the album a lot more in the year of 2020. So I guess the moral of the story for musicians is follow trends, but not just in music, but also in marketing. Release a lot of singles, release merch for singles. That's how you make profit. That's how you make buzz. That's how you make hype, relevancy, and most importantly, streams on Spotify. And I guess the moral of the story for us listeners is to support bands through buying merch and streaming music and buying music and doing whatever you can, because, well, it's really important to them, and potentially it's really important to us as a result as well. That's all for now. It's really getting fucking cold. I can't feel my fingers anymore. Thanks to my patrons, especially to my patrons in Tier 2, the man himself and Josh Berg. Thank you all so much for support. It's really important to me. It's really important for the channel. Let me know what you think of Sundowning by Sleep Token and this particular little thing, like this little marketing tactics that they used. And yeah. Thank you so much for checking this out, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.